Mr. Asbury, the defendant is your former boyfriend. You claim he destroyed some property that belonged to you. The defendant says that he didn't destroy anything. He merely tossed it all out in the yard. And in addition, he says you took off with his RV. So let me go back a minute. Where were you and the defendant living?
We were living at my stepdad's property, or his house, down in Ferndale.
Were you living in his house or on his property?
We were living in the RV on the property.
Whose RV was it?
It was an RV that we had purchased during the time, or he had purchased while we were together for us to live in.
So it was his RV?
Yeah, he didn't finish paying for it. He
That's
never
not true.
even paid for it.
Don't speak.
It was
He
our
purchased,
home. It was,
I don't care if it was your home. He's not
Okay.
your husband. He bought the RV.
Yes.
Okay, so it's his RV.
And I never took off with it.
Just shh. Don't sound foolish.
Okay.
I just asked you a question. I said it's his RV.
Yes.
Now, when did you have this fight, Mr. Owens?
September of 15?
September 15th or September 15th?
September of 15. I think it was the 17th to be exact.
And what was the argument about?
She ran off with her ex-boyfriend for the weekend.
She says that you were angry.
Of course
You
I
would have
was.
a right to be angry.
I mean,
Okay. You have a right to be angry. I want you to tell me what you did with her property that was in the RV.
when I found out that she had spent the weekend running around with her ex-boyfriend, I tried to call her, I tried to call him, to talk to him. No answer from either one of them. I went to my trailer, I took everything that was hers, I set it outside the trailer, I loaded my car up with as much as would fit, and I took that to my storage unit. The rest I left sitting in the yard in front of the trailer.
Now, that's your father?
This is my father, my stepfather, yes.
Your stepfather. He's going to tell me a different story.
Okay, he's...
Just a second. Amanda. What's your last name, sir?
Thomas.
Mr. Thomas, were you at home when Mr. Owens was disposing of your stepdaughter's property?
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell me what you saw.
I looked out my window, I seen black smoke coming up out of a big old fire. I went out there and I said, what are you burning? He said, I'm burning Christina's clothes and shoes and stuff. And I said, you can't be burning her stuff. You need to put that out because it's going to cause problems with the fire department and everything else. And I walked away and said, this ain't right, this ain't right. And I walked away.
Did he tell you why he was burning her thing? Shh, put your hand down.
He was angry with her and she had it coming.
Is that what he said to you? Just that he was angry and she had it coming?
Yeah.
He didn't tell you that she was away with her boyfriend? He
No.
just said he was angry with her and she had it coming.
What about her stuff that was in his house afterwards?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. Wait. What?
Your Honor, this is after a year of him. The reason why I left, I broke up with him. I wasn't running around with my ex-boyfriend.
Yes, you were.
He
Just
was
listen
cheating
to me.
on me the whole
Would you-
year.
That's a lie.
And I broke up with
lie.
her.
I would say you should be right in the middle over there.
Okay.
I was there night prior, hanging out with her.
I don't want to hear from you. What do you think this is? I don't know where people think you are.
Especially coming from the one who ran off with her clothes. You know what I mean?
You're going to pay her $500 for all of her clothes.
How can I pay her
Do you want to
$500
know
if
why?
she owes
Do you
me
want
for
to
my
know?
trailer?
Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because you just shouted out.
I'm not shouting out.
Just a second, you just shouted out.
I had something to say.
Not unless I ask you.
Well, ask me a question then.
I don't want to ask you a question, Mr. Owens.
I don't see how I can be held accountable for her stuff, and she just gets to take all mine and run off with it.
Just a second.
She's the one who told me she stole my trailer.
Your Honor,
She's the one who ran off with all her clothes from in front of it.
I have a...
Her witnesses are the ones who took her stuff.
I have a thing saying that I burned all your shoes. A text message from him.
I went through 22 phones last year. I
If
bet she
you
does.
open your mouth again, anybody, without my asking a question, I'm just going to throw you all out, which would actually be a joy for me. Do you understand?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Great. Now, that's what he's going to pay you for the clothes that he's burned. Now, I want to know, listen to me carefully.
Okay.
I want to know where his RV is.
Your Honor,
Look at me.
can I show
No,
you?
you can't tell me anything.
Can I show
All
you? He says he sold the RV. I have a text message saying I already sold it.
Just a second. So with what you're... Look,
I'm sorry.
look over here.
Yes.
Are you on something?
No,
Do you
I'm
take
not.
medication?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
After dealing with him, I should, but no, I'm not. I have a message from him saying that he sold the trailer.
I'm just asking you a question.
RV.
I said, where is the RV? If you say, I don't know,
Okay.
then I'm going to turn around and ask him a question. Mr. Owens,
Yes, ma'am.
where is the RV? No, don't look over there.
Apparently,
want you to look
I
over
do not
here.
know where my RV is. When I went down there to get it, her stepfather told me that she came down with the truck and pulled it out of there.
It's a lie.
Did you hear what I said?
Shut up.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Miss Asbury says that she has a text message from you, listen to me carefully, that says that you sold the RV. I am going to look at that text message. So I'm just going to ask you a question, because now you say to me, I don't know where the RV is.
I don't.
So I'm going to ask you another question before I look at her evidence.
Okay.
Did you sell the RV?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Give me the last date when you saw the RV.
Well, I'm not sure the exact date, because I had to go to McKinleyville to work, and I was gone up there for about a month. When I came back, it was gone.
Just a second.
Can I say one more thing, please?
Yes.
I went through 22 phones last year, breaking them and losing them. And I'm not quite sure, but I have my suspicions about where some of them went that I lost.
I don't know, and I don't care where your 22 broken
You know what I
phones
mean?
were.
But I mean-
If you saved up all that money, perhaps you could live someplace other than an RV on your girlfriend's stepfather's property.
Where she wanted us to be.
Just listen to me. Don't answer me back. That's one of the joys of this job. I don't have to listen to people who are standing there answer me back.
Okay.
Now, you put your hand down. I don't want to hear you.
Okay.
Do you know, look at me, mister, do you know where the RV is?
No, I don't, ma'am.
When was the last time you saw it? Now it's on you. Look at me. Don't look up. It's
I'm
on
trying to
your
remember the date.
property.
I took off. I came home. I was gone for 2 or 3 days. I came home, the RV was gone. My roommate said...
No, don't tell me what your roommate said.
Okay.
Just tell him who was there the night before.
You don't know where the RV
No, ma'am.
is. What proof do you have, Mr. Owens, that the plaintiff took your RV?
Her stepfather told me that. And I bet you everybody in his house would have heard
Just a
it.
second. When and what did her stepfather tell you?
When I went back down to Ferndale and went to the house, my RV was gone. I walked in the house. I said, Kenny, where's my trailer? He goes, Christina came and got it a couple weeks ago. It's exactly what he said to me.
Okay. Now, he said Christina came and got it a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, ma'am.
Now I'll see the text that you want to show me.
That anybody could have wrote.
No, it's from your Facebook. Your name's
I'm going over this behavior
Okay,
stuff.
okay.
You remember when you told me that Mr. Owens said to you that he was angry at Christina and she had it coming, you remember? You wanted me to believe you, right?
Yes.
Because it was true. Now, when Mr. Owens came back looking for his RV, did he come to the house?
No.
He never saw you?
No.
Never came back for his trailer? No, I don't believe that. Good. Now you're going to show me your bill for the trailer.
Ma'am,
He doesn't have
When did...
I don't.
Speak. I want to know when you bought it, how much you bought it for.
I bought it for $2,500 in October of 2014.
Show me.
That's a lie. Your Honor, he's straight up
I'm
lying.
going to dismiss your case. Your case is dismissed. You're not getting $500 for your clothes.
No,
Do you understand? You're not getting $500 for your clothes. Now I'm only entertaining his counterclaim. Do you understand? Because I told you, if you shout out again, that was going to happen. So it happened. That's what happens. That's consequence.
You're not even giving me a chance.
No.
This is crazy.
You mean in October, which is towards the end of the year, this bill of sale, they didn't remember what was 2014 or 2015? Is that what you're saying to
No,
me?
I'm saying that the surface that they were writing on.
What? Talking about this.
People make mistakes, Your Honor.
I don't make mistakes.
I do.
Not,
Everybody
not,
does.
not in October of the year, sir.
Why not?
Maybe in January, when the year first changes, what you do is instead of writing 2014, you write 2013.
What about
if the year
somebody
is
who-
just turning. But in October,
What about somebody who lives
by
on a mountain?
October, you have to be dealing with very, very slow, dim-witted people.
Exactly.
If
You
they
are
can't-
exactly right.
If they can't, well, I'm
Exactly.
not slow and dim-witted. The truth
People
of
who
the
only
matter
come
is
off
you
the mountain
deserve
twice
each
a
other.
year.
Both of
Can I-
you.
can
I
I
don't believe
please-
this. Your
can
case
I-
is dismissed. Yours too. We're done. Goodbye.
Please excuse me, stepfather.
That girl stole everything I owned. Everything I owned. I'm talking my trailer, my home, my clothes, every piece of paperwork I ever had.
I didn't steal his trailer
Because I was mad because she ran off with her ex-boyfriend for the weekend.
because he's a liar and a cheater.
And her stepdad's the one who told me she took it.
Because I loved him. And he said that he would make it right.
My friend called me and said he had just seen her in the car with her ex-boyfriend.
I never cheated on him. I stayed home every night while he was out running around on me.
Of course she thinks that. I work. I'm gone all day. She sits at home and does nothing but plot on me, I guess.
And when I broke up with him, he burned all my stuff.
I thought that she was cheating on me.
And that's years of collecting and stuff.
Of course she was.
No, he's a liar.
What relationship?
I will never, ever even talk to him again. He had one chance to make right with me and he...
I mean, I won't lie, I love the girl with all my heart. And if all it would take is I'm sorry
Shut up, just like he does everything else.
and a smile, and I take her back. But she doesn't know what love is.
Am I going to protect myself? I'm not going to deal with him. He's the only person that can get to me.
The defendant.
At her place of employment
And where was that?
at Jack in the Box in San Antonio.
How long did you work at Jack in the Box?
A year.
You a married man, Mr. Leeson?
No, I'm not.
And you?
No, ma'am.
Tell me the date that you met and how you met.
Approximately second, third week in November, prior to November 15th, as a customer of Jack in the Box. And we greeted each other, said hello, exchanged phone numbers.
And exchanged phone numbers. Why would you do that?
I was interested.
You were interested in her socially.
Yes.
And if you gave him your phone number, I assume you were interested in him socially.
Yes, ma'am.
When did you next see the defendant?
Probably 3 or 4 days later
Where?
at my home.
How did that work out? She came to your home?
Yes.
You picked her up? You went to his home?
Yes, ma'am.
What time?
Early evening.
And what did you do?
We visited, we talked.
And that's it.
That's it.
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you see each other again?
Probably a few days, a week later.
Where?
Place of employment.
At the Jack in the Box?
Yes.
And then?
And then she called me, came over, needed assistance with some funds for moving
Just a
in.
second, sir.
Okay.
So you had one visit where she came to your house for a few hours and you talked. Then you didn't see each other until you went back to the Jack in the Box.
Correct.
Where she was working and saw her there. And then the next thing that you heard from her was a telephone call that she needed money.
Well, no, we spoke on the phone a few times also.
You mean in between?
Yes.
But didn't see each other.
I don't recall. Place of employment. I'd stop in and get a breakfast sandwich.
Okay, tell me about the phone call.
Hello, how are you?
Keep going. Keep going. You said you're going to tell me about a series of loans that you made to her. She says that it was never a loan situation. So right now you have a friend that you saw twice that you were interested in socially. She came to your home. The next time you saw her was at her place of employment. You saw her no other place other than her place of employment between that first visit at your home and when she called and asked you for money. So now I want you to tell me about the phone call.
Well, she didn't call me and ask me for money. She called and came over to visit. And
She called-
during the conversation,
She called, came over to visit a second time. And when was that? Approximately.
I believe it was November 15th, her birthday.
Okay, so she came over on her birthday. And?
Well, actually, we had a date to go out to eat. And she brought spaghetti over and said didn't really want to go out to eat. So she brought spaghetti over. We ate the spaghetti and had a conversation. And then the aspect of needing to borrow some money came up.
Tell me about it.
She had move-in expenses. She was moving to a new apartment. And she struck me as a really kind, sincere individual.
I don't care if
And
she struck
so
you. I just want to know what she said to you and what you said to her.
she was desperate for some additional funds for moving expenses.
You remember that conversation?
Not exactly. Not going down the way he's presenting it to you.
Well, tell me how it went down.
I did. They really helped me out a lot as a friend in pursuing a
I'm
relationship.
asking you about
and
the first amount of money he gave you for what he says were moving
I
expenses.
don't even remember the amount that he given me, but he did give me some money as a gift to help me out with moving
Well, this
expenses.
is less. We're talking about less than a year ago. How many times have you accepted money from men who were relatively strangers?
He's given me money quite a few times.
I'm not asking about him. I'm asking about other people, other men who were strangers, because you say you don't remember the amount. The first time he gave you money.
There wasn't anyone else.
Okay. So how much money did he give you, and what did you need the money for?
Moving expenses, as he said.
How much did you need?
I don't recall, Judge Judy.
How much did you give her for moving expenses?
$600.
Well, in your complaint, Mr. Leeson, you said that the first time she asked you for money was about a month after you met her in mid-November, when she called and told you that there was money missing from her job. Her job was in jeopardy, and unless she made up that money, she was going to lose her job. That's the first loan that you allege.
No, that was the second loan.
Well, then you got it wrong in your complaint.
Correct. I have it wrong. That was the second time.
Well, the second loan you said was a loan you agreed to pay her money for her car expenses so she could look for a job.
She had difficulty at work with a shortage in deposit, and so I gave her money, lent her money.
Nowhere in your complaint do you talk about, I'm going to show you your complaint. Nowhere in your complaint, Mr. Leeson, do you talk about moving expenses.
I've seen that. I understand. And that was...
Tell me. I like to clean things up. in
That
my
was
own shop.
addressed earlier this morning and removed.
Why? Not to put what in?
The moving expenses, I have a canceled check for it, and it's not included in the statement because it's an oversight on my part to have included it in this morning's review of it.
You what?
I have a canceled check for
Right.
$600 for the moving expense.
Right.
Discussed in reviewing the complaint this morning and just elected not to make a change to the complaint.
Okay. So the first was for moving expenses,
Correct.
$600.
Yes.
And what was the next amount of money?
$400
For what?
car payment and car insurance.
When did you give her that? And I'd like to see the canceled check.
Here's the canceled check.
It wasn't a check. It wasn't a check, Your Honor.
Then the one for $400. This is the bank deposit slip for withdrawing the money.
No. I just want to know when it was. So can I see those two things, Bert? Yes, it was a check for $600. It was the 8th of November of 2015.
He never given me a check. I never received a check.
Yes, you did, because you signed it, and I just examined your signature on the check, and the signature is exactly the same as the signature on your answer. You want to take a look at it?
I don't remember no check.
Got it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. All right, so she borrowed $600, and then you paid a car payment for her 2 months later,
Correct.
and she hadn't paid you back any part of the $600.
That's correct.
Well, then why would you loan her any more money?
She lost her job. She
Who cares?
didn't have a job.
Yeah,
And
but then you're talking about a different story. So you had no expectation of being paid back the $600 because you hadn't been
Yes, I
paid
did.
back that $600 between the beginning of November and January.
yes,
Not a penny had been paid back.
That's correct.
When you gave her another $400.
Correct.
Now, that $400 you and I are going to have a problem with. When was the next amount of money you gave her? Date.
3 tanks of gas in January.
Not interested. Not interested in 3 tanks of gas. What
All
else?
right. The next would be a $60 charge due to the loss of her job and getting
Date.
hired to a new job.
Date.
January 17th.
So then you gave her another $60 after she hadn't paid you back the $400 for the car, the $600 that you gave for the beginning of November. What next?
$300 to pay for a bond
When?
in March 16th.
Oh, now we're in March. So now we're in March of this year. And she hasn't given you back, and that's for a bond.
Correct.
So I assume you were arrested for something?
It was a misdemeanor that I
What?
did. It was
I don't care what you were arrested
Yes,
for
ma'am.
something.
Yes, ma'am.
And what was your bond?
It was for $300.
Okay, fine. So now we're getting all the way back. You understand where we're going, Mr. Leeson? $600 you loaned her. That's what your check says. Let's say I believe it, that it wasn't doctored or anything else, that it was a loan for $600. But then you continue to see her. And I assume at some point it became more than a chatting relationship. You
No.
know, more than,
Yes, it
well,
did.
Well,
then
It did.
a little
Oh.
bit.
became, listen, we're not getting into what it is. Nobody got that but me?
I got it.
Judge ex-girlfriend Amanda Ferguson owes for loans.
Okay. At some point, you just started to give her money when she needed it. She hadn't paid you back the $600. You gave her $400 more 3 months later. Then you bought 3 tanks of gas you wanted to slip in there. Then you gave her $60 for something else. She hadn't paid you back any of this money. And then in March, just a few months ago, you bailed her out of jail. And you want her to pay you back for that.
Correct.
What else? It's all not happening for you, Mr. Leeson.
Well, that's primarily it, but the basis for loaning her the money was if I didn't pay for the class, she wouldn't get hired. Having a job gives her ability to pay me back. She has an income tax refund coming in.
So what?
And she promised to pay from the income tax refund, which that became an argument between us. But
Just a
I
second.
have proof that
Just a
she
second.
she has the ability to pay back based
Just
off her
I
income
don't care.
tax.
I don't care. She got her income tax refund back either in. When did you file and when did you get your tax return back?
January.
In January. When
Yes,
did you
ma'am.
get your money back?
February 21st.
February. Well, she didn't pay in February, sir, with her refund check, and you bailed her out in March.
Didn't know she had gotten a refund check. She told me she hadn't received it.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $600. The original $600 was a loan. The rest of it is dating. Bye.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I found her to be a very sincere, nice, honest person.
Dave was a good guy. We got along really well.
She promised me over and over that she was going to pay me back in certain ways.
I went through some things, and he was there for me.
It's not the first time I've helped somebody.
I have nothing bad to say about him.
Seat, please.
I'm going to start out with Mr. McVeigh. Mr. McVeigh, this is your sister.
Yes, ma'am.
And there was an incident involving her car, which resulted in her car being damaged.
Well,
Just a second. There's no question her car was damaged.
Okay.
She blames you for it. I want you to tell me what date it was and how you think she's blaming you for the damage to her car, which is a side view mirror, correct?
The side view mirror, the bumper, and the window shield.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm not.
Well, not you're not. I want you to tell me on what date the incident happened.
I'm not for sure the correct date.
Date.
27th May, 2016.
So if you're not sure, May 27th. I'm listening to you. Stand up straight, talk up, so I can, you see how I'm talking, you can hear me, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. This is where I'd like you to talk back to me. Speak up.
Well, actually,
Not actually.
she left.
Not she. You. How did you get possession of her car?
She gave me possession.
Tell me about it.
Well, I texted her. She left her car at my mother's house, and I texted her.
Just a second. She left her car.
Oh, my mother's house. And I texted her and asked, can I use her car to take my niece?
You texted her. From what phone?
My mother's phone.
So when you texted her from your mother's phone, it comes up from your mother's phone.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what you texted her from your mother's phone.
I asked her, could I take my niece out to eat and to go shoe shopping, and she said yes.
Tell me exactly what you said.
I said, do you mind if I take Khalees to get something to eat and go buy her some shoes?
Okay, do you mind if I take your niece? Is that your daughter?
No, I have her for the summer.
That's a niece.
Yes.
How old is she?
She's 6.
Do you mind if I take her and your mother was watching her?
Yes.
Do you mind if I take her out to lunch and to buy her some shoes? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Did you get that text?
I might have them.
I'd love to see it. Before I look at the text, did you sign your name to the text?
No, ma'am.
No.
I did not.
No. How did I know that? No. Okay.
Wow.
So, you know, it's so easy. It's really like shooting fish in a barrel. It really is. So from his mother's phone, this is the exchange. He says, can I take Kelsey to get her hair done and out to eat? She says, yes, but this is from his mother's phone. He doesn't say, this is, what's your first name?
Kenneth.
Doesn't say, this is Kenneth, I'm using mom's phone. Yes, sure, if you want 3 o'clock, whatever. He says, fine. So now the keys weren't in the car.
No, the keys were, my car was at my job on my 15-minute break, like my lunch break. I called my mom because I thought it was her.
No, that's not true.
And then I text back. It was a text in there saying, don't call this number back because I was going over there. And I drove the car over there to see what my mom wanted to do and stuff. And my mom usually takes the bus.
Your mom what?
Takes the bus to take my niece out most times. And so I went over there to see what she wanted to do and how long she was going to be gone. And when I went inside, I had to hurry up and go to the bathroom. So I said, Mom, I'll be right back. I set the keys down and I went to the bathroom. And when I came back, the car was gone and my niece was off the couch. And so I asked my mom and she was like, oh, well,
that's not true. No.
Your brother has been talking about taking her out to eat all day and taking her to get her hair done. And so I assumed that that's what he was doing. And I was like, okay, well, maybe he really will come back. And my mom was like, okay. And I was like, well, he knows what time I get off work.
Okay. So now you're out with your niece.
Yes.
At what time?
It was about 3:15 when he took the car.
And you wanted to take her to get her some new shoes and for lunch.
Yes.
That's a late lunch for a 6-year-old. That's a late lunch for a 6-year-old and some shoes. Where were you taking her for lunch?
McDonald's.
Did you take her?
Yes, I took her.
What time did you get there?
I believe about 3:30.
So you got her to McDonald's at 3:30 and you ate with her until what time?
About 4 o'clock.
And then where did you go, Kenneth?
I went to the mall.
Did you buy her shoes?
Yes.
And after the mall, where did you go?
I went over my baby mother house, my Isha.
Well, that wasn't part of the deal, Kenneth. You said, can I take her? Well, in this text, you said to get her hair done. But let's say I believe this story about taking her to McDonald's and then over to buy her some shoes. But then you were making a social visit. What time did you leave the mall?
About 5:30.
What time did you finish with work?
6 o'clock.
How do you get home from work?
I drive my car home.
But he had your car.
I walked to my mother's. She lives a block away.
Oh. Well, the car wasn't there.
It wasn't there, so I
when
waited
you got
in the
home
street.
because you were at your baby mother's house. I can't even say that. They've learned to say mother of my child. Thank you. You know, whatever else it is. Sounds like stupid
It's
baby
the
mama.
cliche of the day.
What?
It's the cliche
of the day. Okay, and what happened when you got to, what's her name's house?
Maisha.
Maisha's house. What happened when you got there?
Well, she was acting all historical because I guess my sister texted her and told her that I stole her car and that I kidnapped my
Well,
niece.